spitter, baby, give me all the currency. Ain't nobody in this rap game going hard as me. Tripled up my money, niggas say I got that pedigree. You ain't heard by now, let me introduce, I'm so from 3. When you see me out, hella gas in rotation. I can't even count all these blunts I've been facing. Told that bitch to get up off my ass, up off my case. This ain't even that, why you switching up the play? Like I won't pull up and dick you down and skirt off, take a race. Why you tryna check me, girl, you know that ain't your place. I've been working, I've been rolling, I'm so sorry for the wait. I've been living in the studio, like that's where I stay.
Man, just for anybody who haven't seen last episode, our initial thoughts on learning, we had to watch this show or any like previous experience with this show.
Yeah. So I basically I realized as soon as I seen the like cover art or whatever that I have watched this show before. I just dropped it or got preoccupied with something else. But when I first heard we was gonna be watching it, you know what I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. You know what I mean, I'm kind of hoping for the best.
Right.
Feel me? Expecting the worst is just, you know what I mean. You never know. So.
Okay. For me, going in completely blind, first time viewing. That's about it.
Yeah, same with Jordan. I mean, first time blind. I did see clips in here and there that kind of intrigued me, but mostly of it was just the action scenes that kind of caught my eye. So it was something that I wanted to recommend this week, especially that the new season had finished just recently, and it's on season 5. So it had piqued my interest seeing how good this show is with that many seasons just going.
All right, let's get some facts, man. Studio Bones, adapted in 2016. This first season is 12 episodes. The score on Mal is a 7.81, which will rank this last of all the shows we've reviewed so far. FLCL will be right above it with an 8.03. For our voice actors, we got in JP for Dazai, we got Mamoru Miyano, who is Light in Death Note. In the English, we got Kaiji Tang, who plays Guts in Berserk. For our main character, Atsushi, we got Yuto Umura, who plays Thorfinn in Vinland Saga for the JP. And in English, we got Max Middleman, who plays Saitama in One Punch Man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Just for the record, man, what language you guys watch it in?
Dub.
Dub?
Yeah, I watched sub.
Sub, okay. I did a couple episodes dub, couple episodes sub, so we got a good mix.
Okay, alright.
Alright. Ready to work into this episode 1?
Yep. Alright. Quick synopsis for episode 1. Main character, Nakajima, was driven out his orphanage, wandering the streets of Yokohama and bring starvation, determined to live. Chance he encountered our second character of the show, Danzai, who stranger changes his fate. So what do you guys think about episode 1?
It definitely started off like a weird, because just like starts off with him, and then you see the scene like Dazai floating down the river. I was like, he's like introducing himself as like an orphan and shit. I got in my nose like he's broke as fuck.
I swear he's broke as hell.
Like when we see him at the beginning, he's like, I'm about to starve to death. I don't have no money. I'm like, damn, is that bad?
Yeah.
What'd you have?
For me, I said that the first shot of Nakajima, the close camera up, gave me like a weird horror feeling that I thought was gonna be given. I mean, until afterwards, I learned watching the dialogue and seeing that he was just pretty much starved and kicked out of his orphanage. My first impression, Dazai, funny. I mean, him just being super suicidal, drowning and all that was pretty funny to me. The opening, what do you guys think about the opening if you listen to it at all in this series?
From my notes, I had the visuals were strong. I like the visuals for the opening, but the song I was kind of like on.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a bad song, but it wasn't like something I was like instantly about to put on my phone or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I would kind of say the same as far as the opening. Like, I definitely like the animation or whatever for it. But yeah, the song was kind of. I mean, it was cool, but yeah, I wasn't gonna like watch it every time.
Right. Yeah, I felt pretty much the same way. It kind of gave me the vibes of an anime I seen a long time ago called Code Breaker.
No.
Just the opening animation style of it was kind of cool. But yeah, episode 1 for me was pretty okay. I mean, it wasn't nothing too spectacular in any means like that, but just the dialogue situation between Dazai and Nakajima. And
Oh my god!
was just
They were
super
to
goofy.
me. They were like so annoying in this first episode.
Oh, yeah?
They were just like screaming back and forth to each other. I did like the little plot twist and the mystery they build up towards the end, where we find out Atsushi is the tiger.
The tiger,
Right.
They've been hunting, and I got like questions. I was like, okay, so is he not going to be the main character?
Yeah.
Because we see like Dazai like take him into this empty warehouse, and it's like, okay, so is he going to kill him? And it's like a bait and switch. Like, oh, this guy is not actually our main character. Or maybe Dazai is actually the main character.
Right.
But that did not end up being the case. But I thought that was interesting. And then I was like, they got like the Avengers Initiative, because we get introduced to like the private investigator organization, and like they all have like superhuman powers, and they're basically like a step above the regular police.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that seemed like could be interesting. But I was like, yeah. So they got like the Avengers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Episode 1 for me, it was pretty cool. I guess I wasn't like you said, I wasn't like blown away or anything for real.
Right.
No, I did have noted that Atsushi was broke as hell. I thought that was fried. And I definitely have put down like this nigga's story not adding up. Like just, I don't know. Like I guess it's not impossible to say like an anime, wouldn't have something like that where a kid is kicked out of a orphanage for just no apparent reason.
Oh,
but
right.
like the fact that like he kept saying that, and like they was like showing those clips of them kind of, like berating him, and I'm like, there's, you feel me, like why are they doing that? Like I just was very suspicious of that. So
Right.
when we found out he was the were tiger, I wasn't too surprised for real. I'm like, okay, that makes sense why they would be like, yeah, get this thing out of here.
Right. And also for me, I kind of going into watching this episode and then mentioning about the were tiger, I'm like, all right. The way how he described it was like, yeah, the were tiger, as soon as I came to the city, it appeared, where I left, it was farm. I was like, bro, it's you, man. Like, you're the were tiger this whole time. Then when we get to the warehouse scene, he was like, what happened? Like, Don's was like, yeah, you're the were tiger, bro. Like, you're the one that causing havoc and all this and that. I kind of felt like that was really predictable for me. I don't know, you guys felt it was super predictable just from seeing the dialogue and information we was given. I was like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see the twist coming. I did think I did have in my notes like, it's kind of. I didn't think like it would come up later, but I was just like, I just thought it was like some fried anime stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
Then they really kicked them out the orphanage because they was running low on food. Like,
right. Yeah, that'd be savage if they did that.
I guess. But yeah, that was fun. Definitely, I thought this was a pretty strong first episode. More so, the second half really carried it for me, but pretty good first episode.
Yeah. I can't think of the character's name, the boy with the glasses. When Danzai was across the river to him, and he was just like, bro, don't ignore me the whole time.
Oh, yeah. What's bro name with the notebook?
Yeah, with the notebook. Yeah, with the. I can't think of his name. I think it was.
I really don't know, bro.
Oh, man. I'm mad about that. But yeah, him introduced was kind of funny. I kind of wrote that he was like a high moral guy, the way how he spoke about himself and everything. Everything has to go according to his schedule and all that. But yeah, that was a really wrote for him.
I didn't really like his like dub casting.
Really?
Yeah, I thought like the voice was like super deep, and it's like I was like I didn't really feel like it fit.
Okay.
You watched the dub, so yeah.
I mean, like I got used to it, but I see what you mean. Like it definitely could be jarring. Like when I first heard him speak, I'm like, okay, that's the character they gave him. But
okay. Oh, his name is Kunakita.
Kunakita.
Kunakita. I guess we done with episode 1.
Yep.
All right, episode 2. Let's get into it. Nakajima, he lacks conviction that he be any of use in his agency. Just as he's about to bid the agency farewell, a bomber takes over the agency with one of the agency employees asked his hostage. For me, seeing that, it was really goofy towards the end when we found out who the attacker was holding the hostage. It's like, bro, we're getting right into it. Like, this agency's already going to shambles. You know, I was okay. But, I mean, episode 2 for me, I wrote down it's a fake-ass test to me with another predictable moment of who he was and what the whole process was of like, yeah, this is just your introduction to the agency, bro. We just want to see what your conviction is and are you not willing to die for us? Pretty much. A weird little relationship between the two that's supposed to be siblings. I wrote down weird little incest at the end. I had no idea what that was all about.
Step siblings.
Yeah, step siblings, whatever. But yeah, that's why I got mostly for episode 2.
Yeah, they try to play that shit as a joke or something. Oh, incest is funny. Ha ha, ha ha. Yeah, I definitely had this as a bad episode. I was not a fan of this episode. We do see the ending in this episode. I did like the ending.
Okay.
But I had in my notes, I was like, it kind of reminded me of like Dingy situation where we see him wake up and like now he's got his own apartment and like, oh, you down on your luck. You really don't got shit.
Right.
So now we gonna kind of like strong arm you into joining us, and now you can live a somewhat better life. And it just wasn't hitting for me this episode because he's like, okay, I'm cool. I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be of much use. I can only activate my powers during a full moon, and even when I activate them, I'm not in control of what I do. So I don't see myself being much use to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, well, just come help me with this thing real quick. And then they put him through this test where he does absolutely nothing besides jump on the bomb and basically, show everybody, oh, he was willing to I guess, try to risk his life or, help everybody and save everybody by jumping on the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring the president out at the end and he's like, yeah, bro, he cool. He can join.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What did he do? I guess.
Yeah, and that whole speech he did was like so whack. He was supposed to be like the delivery postal guy, or whatever. And he just kind of gave like a little
and
sauce.
They push him out there.
Yeah.
Like, talk down the little bomber guy and distract him.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, that was so goofy to me. That just whole speech he gave to the perpetrator that was carrying her hostage. I mean, he was pretty much shaming him like, this is what you would do, man. You got something better to do in your life without just throwing your life away and killing everybody here, man. Like, I was like, okay, man, this obviously you're gonna guilt him into just lowering his guard, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I mean, yeah, and I also wrote down like, so what is the plot of this story so far? I mean, I think it was probably too early for me to say that, but it was unclear to me what the plot is, obviously, because if they would ran with the idea of first episode, who is the were-tiger, and we're just seeing how that goes, I'll probably be fine with that. But after that episode, I'm like, all right, so he joins the agency, then what? Is it just them cracking down on bad guys? If so, that's fine with me if that's how the presence of the story is going to go onward. But I mean, for me, that was just my question on that. So what's the plot and where we go from here after this initiative?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't like give you like a goal for, a goal that you want to see the main character like achieve.
Exactly. Right.
It's just kind of like, he just going about life and
it's just kind of
shit
like
happens.
stuff happening to him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But that's what I got for 2.
Okay.
Yeah, man, y'all pretty much said most of it for 2. Like, the only thing I really noted was, like, this nigga jumped on the bomb like Steve Rogers. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I don't know. I just thought, like, throw it out a window or something. And like Jordan said, I did, like, kind of find it strange when it was like, oh, this is a test. I'm like, bro, what type of, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's not really proving nothing, and he didn't really have a lot of options. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know. I just thought it was, I don't know. It was kind of cool.
I was kind of underwhelmed by the headquarters, too.
Yeah.
The headquarters just this little brick building. Yeah. Like, the Avengers is in here, man. Y'all better get Tony Stark, man. Come
here, literally, bro.
do something for y'all, man.
That's the X-Men, bro.
makeover.
Yeah, that office kind of reminded me of like Mob Psycho when Mob went into
Right.
Buddy's office. I was like, this
yeah,
kind of
Reagan,
office space.
yeah.
This kind of office space. All right, bro. It's kind of good for me. All right, onward to episode 3. Now that he's an official member of the agency after passing their entrance exam, Nakajima is assigned to his first case right away with Tanizaki and Naomi, the 2 step siblings. So, yeah, what you guys got for this episode? For their case?
Definitely the action was great in this episode.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Man, when bro came up and snuck what's his name, the male sibling?
Yeah, Tanizaki.
Yeah, bro. I was like, thank you.
Yeah,
Because I thought they was like really dead. I'm like,
yeah.
they are so annoying, bro. Because the girl, she got shot by old girl with the SMGs, and then he show off his ability, which his ability was cool.
Yeah,
right.
But then, bro, the little leader dude or whatever snuck him. I was like, okay, bet. Thank you.
Yeah. That scene was fire though. I mean, because they started out with the dialogue with the blonde chick who was with the actual mafia squad, and just luring them there, and you see old girl just get obliterated. And I'm like, this show is going this direction. I can dig it now. If that's how they're going, then obviously the brother gets, stepbrother gets annihilated by Akutagawa.
Yeah.
I mean, and seeing that, I was like, damn, like, all right, this show's gonna be any little gory than this. I'm gonna enjoy it just as much. But I agree with you. Those two, I think I'll be fine without them with the rest of the show, because we don't really see them much often at all.
No.
If anything, just straight cameo scenes for them.
Yeah, we kind of get as we see like in later episodes, kind of like one-off episodes with bro going with like different members of the agency, and this is kind of just like the episode, I guess.
Right, and I was fine with that. It's like giving them some sort of character light or build up, which is kind of cool to me, I guess. I definitely noted when Atagawa went to the building, and then he like murked both of those guards, and the lady went in there. He blew up the whole building. I thought that was a dope introduction to him in general.
He definitely was gangster after that scene.
I literally wrote gangster shit. Just
that was like
man.
pure introduction and nothing else. Because it's like he goes into the damn police station.
That's what
he's like, I'm here to return this bag. And then they're like, hold on, you're like on America's Most Wanted list.
Right.
And then he kills him and walks out. The bag's still on the counter, and some lady walks in, sees the dead body. Like, I'm like, what was the point of this? I guess just purely introduction. All right.
Oh, yeah. Just like,
I'm like, what did he gain from this? Okay, pure introduction. All right.
I guess for like the audience, like, it's not just
he's not just mean to people.
He's just not a bad guy to avoid. Like, no, he's literally on site. I'll murder you. Just no questions asked.
Yeah,
I guess kind of introduction.
Definitely a demon.
Yeah.
You seen, bro? He transformed this episode with no moon.
No moon.
That stood out to me. He had the little regen. His leg came back. Okay.
My man on his Nezuko shit.
Bro, I literally put like this tiger low key hard. That's like that shit was low key hard. Like,
oh yeah.
Little Port Mafia trying. Basically, that's like the enemy, the little bad guy, and you see like the Port Mafia, and they trying to sell him on the black market for $7 billion.
Yeah, I wrote down that speech of Asagawa trying to bring the word tiger to his side after murking his 2 companions. It sounded like I wrote down something like Orochimaru x Sasuke, just because of Orochimaru was trying to bring Sasuke to his side. Obviously, he wanted the Sharingan. He was trying to smooth him over. Like, I can just give you power. Pretty much what he's saying to the MC as well. Not saying I give you power because you're already strong enough. We just want you on our side. I just kind of make that kind of connection to me, at least. But again, episode 3 was cool. I think the action kind of carried it for the most part of it. Plot-wise, now we're kind of getting clear understanding that, all right, plot is to bring the Were-Tiger over to the Pot Mafia, which is okay to me, I guess, for the plot.
Yeah, I guess it kind of shines some more light on the agency. Like, he didn't do much, but it's like, okay, they got him joining under the guise of, like, we're really just trying to protect him from the Port Mafia because, if they get him and sell him and And they get this $7 billion. Hey man, who knows
7
what
billion.
they might do with the $7 billion?
Right.
These niggas don't need more resources.
Right.
No, not at all. Yeah, you ain't got nothing to.
Nah, y'all pretty much said everything for real, man. Yeah, just like I literally just wrote down like I guess the Port Mafia is gonna be like the main like antagonist group or whatever.
Right.
And also I believe like late in this episode they kind of hint at like Dazai being used to be like part of the Port Mafia or like some type of, you know what I mean, affiliated with them. So I thought that was interesting. And I thought like kind of threw me off because I'm like, you know what I mean, even though he is wacky, like obviously this agency or whatever is, you know what I mean, out to do good. So I would have never, you know what I mean, expected like for you feel me, one of them to be like, yeah, nigga, we used to be a part of the niggas that's terrorizing the city. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Gotcha. All right. Episode 4. Atsushi feels responsible for bringing trouble to the agency's door. Rather than risk another attack because of him, Atsushi decides to leave the agency and makes a phone call to the Port Mafia and set up a meeting. For me, I kind of just wrote down the attack on the agency. I mean, the way how they projected it, I thought that the agency wasn't the way how they kind of displayed the characters and their abilities. I was they probably gonna get waxed, man, by this mafia group or somehow,
right, exactly,
whatever. But then we see our boy with the glasses, what's his name, Kunakita. I mean, he just did like a little basic taekwondo slam. I mean, I just write down to agency is it weak after all against the mafia because blonde girls like we can take them on at all. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I wish we got a bit of how the agency or people in general in the show got their powers. I would think that would be nice if they did like a little original story or something like that. Or is it just this world, they were just born with that? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I kind of just wish that for episode 4 up to now. And then our buddy, the step sibling. What's his name? Tanazaki, the whole
step bro.
yeah, step bro. Tanazaki. We see a little. We see a little clip of him getting the treatment of him healing by Yosano, which is kind of interesting to me. I just wrote down just the because you just hear him in the background and everybody just like he's just getting this special treatment to be healed again after the encounterment.
Right.
But I ain't got much for episode 4.
As far as episode 4, I just had kind of like basically what you had said. Like they were kind of, I mean, we really didn't get a view at anybody's power, but like though really just bro from episode 3 really like that's the only power that we had kind of seen from the agency. So they were kind of playing it up like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this raid is gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Like they gonna get hurt or you know what I mean? Like that's what I was assuming. I was like, yeah, they probably about to get their shit whacked. But you know what I mean? Basically, I just wrote down like I guess they get multiple raids. Like you feel me? Like it was just kind of. I don't know. It was fried. Like when I seen it, I was like, okay, so they're formidable. I guess like they are strong. Like we don't see it, but I guess they are strong because niggas come in with machine guns. I'm like, cause anywhere else, you feel me? And I thought that was kind of fried too. I'm like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of like guns in this show. Like just last episode, we seen somebody get popped. You feel me? This episode, people is getting shot at by groups of machine guns and they duck it behind like a desk and they're like, oh, okay, we good. I'm like, cause you can run towards niggas shooting at you with Tommy guns, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it kind of threw me off. It was cool though. You know what I mean? Like I said, it just basically was an episode of them saying like, hey, the team is not, they're strong. It's gonna be some battles. Like they're not, you know what I mean? They're not gonna just get wiped out by, I guess, a squad. It's gonna take more than that.
Yeah, because now I think about what the squad actually tackling. They call the Black Lizards, and that's like the group with the mafia. And I was like, okay, and we get a little clips of them just doing their little thing or what they display their powers. So I was like, all right, so this is gonna be a decent little battle in this episode. And it's they straight show the agency just got murdered. It's like nothing. I'm like, okay, so all that build was for nothing.
Yeah, for sure. I had this is a good episode. Also, she is like warming up to the agency, finally, finding a place where he can belong. Basically, this whole episode just being about like after their mission last time and the two siblings getting hurt, and they're basically him finding out like the Port Mafia is after him, and dude told him like, hey, they just ended up being collateral. We really just want you. You keep on hanging out with these people at the agency, they gonna be getting hurt because of you. Right. So he tries to like quit and run away, and then this episode basically just showing like, nah, bro, we strong enough to stand on our own and strong enough to protect you. So don't think that you got to run away for our sake.
Yeah.
And he can like trust them and trust that this is a place where he can build relationships with people and, finally find a place where he can belong. Because obviously with his whole thing about being kicked out of the orphanage,
right.
he just like, man, I don't really have nowhere to go.
Right. I kind of was wondering, all right, so you activate your power, but how exactly did you activate your power? Was it just because of the emotional base, or was it? Cause I don't think I really... for the MC.
I just kind of assumed that, honestly, I guess I wasn't paying attention in the first episode. I didn't even know that he couldn't change unless it was a full moon at first. Right. But obviously, like through the episode 3, when we seen kind of like how stressed he was, and I would say it damn near took a lot because I'm like, you seen 2 people killed in front of you, and then they took your leg off. Right. You know what I mean? And then and then you kind of felt like, I guess, emotional enough to do that. So I just thought it was just based off his emotions, or if he gets pushed to the limit or near death or something. Which is why I said I wrote down for that episode, I thought the ability was cool because I'm like, that's, I guess that's just kind of hard, like a little fail safe. He take too much damage and then he just gonna turn into a tiger and heal type shit. I thought that was.
Yeah, we see this. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but we see this a few times. In his first season. All right, episode 5. Atsushi is tasked with accompanying Rampo. He's probably my favorite character. To a case, skeptical of the self-dubbed great detective who seems to lack all common sense. Atsushi is about to witness Rampo's ability firsthand. I'm gonna let y'all go first on this one. This episode's kind of goofy to me.
Yeah, I had this was a good episode. I like the murder mystery. Basically about the cop that was like a spy, and then he gets found out by one of his co-workers who also is his girlfriend, and he basically has to do away with her.
Yeah.
And I had for this episode, I like Rampo's design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely I enjoyed this episode. Yeah, it's something about characters like Rampo. It might just be because they're so arrogant that they're annoying with it. So I literally wrote down he's annoying, but I like his character. He reminded me of he reminded me of Excalibur from Soul Reaper.
Okay.
So yeah, I definitely liked his character design and stuff, and just his character overall. And then obviously towards the end, I was like, yeah, this nigga Sherlock Holmes, he's good.
Yeah, straight up.
He does. And then a twist said he doesn't have an ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He thinks he has an ability, and he really doesn't. He's just that good at being a detective.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. So Rampo's non-ability is just as good as he imagined it. Is just wild to me. Right. I was like, so he's the only one that doesn't have the ability, but everybody just let him imagine it. So what is it that if he don't believe in his ability, then he's just a regular civilian who's, just useless.
He's just ill.
Yeah, he's just ill.
Right. So this nigga ability is positive delusion.
Positive delusion, right. This episode, for me, it was cool. The whole dialogue with the sergeant and his chief, being detectives of the scene, then the agency finally come through, and they have their little bitter dialogue between them two, and just the chief just not believing in Rampo's ability to actually solve the crime was kind of fried to me, and then just him just boom, let me just take you down the road and just show you who is the actual murder suspect in this one, which, as Jordan stated, it was the sergeant, and the whole fact that Buddy just didn't want to give us his gun out, it reminded me of a couple movie scenes I've seen. of him just being like very defensive, as if like, yeah, you guys caught me, but there's no way that you know about it, you know. And then we go through this whole little side story, which is kind of okay to me. I wrote down Dazai. Another funny thing I like about him, just his consistency of being suicidal throughout the show just gets me just every single time, man. It was just so random. At any given moment, you see him just like, all right, he's the comedy relief while also being the partner with the MC. It's just hysterical to me in this one. I thought it was wild that the sergeant was the one who killed his girlfriend, who showed up, who was dead. I was like, all right, so you was planted as a mule or as a spy, and you ended up falling in love with a cop. But you wanted to stop her, but you didn't want to because it was your girlfriend, and then you accidentally shot her and all that. But I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, for me, it just didn't do it for me as far as that whole plot twist in that episode goes. But yeah, so far for me for this show up to this point, it was giving me like popcorn vibes, like nothing that was like too crazy. It was just like, oh, this is a show I can just turn on and just watch. If I watch in dub, I'll probably just listen to it and all that. Yeah. But given the circumstances, it's like, okay, this show's not as par to the rest of them that we reviewed. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool for what it is, I guess. That's how I was getting to it at this midway of this show.
Yeah, I would have. That was a cool little episodic show, and I felt like they did a decent job. Like, it's like we have a good episode and a not so good episode and a good episode, and so I was kind of like 50-50 with it to this point. Just waiting for them to establish like some type of overarching narrative.
Right. All right. Episode 6. Kunakita enlists the help of a hacker named Taguchi, but all they find are photos of the victims and the mention of a mysterious figure called the Azure Messenger. For me, episode 6, this just gives more character in depth about Kunakita. I wrote down he's extremely punctual character. However, we've seen a couple instances where he can be easily ticked when unforeseen circumstances arise, or rather he was teased. He also is the character that has high moral, as I stated before. We just see him keep that consistency all throughout the show. Dazai in this episode is hilarious to me. How this episode progresses. Taxi driver, I wrote down taxi driver. Old man thought he was smart, but not clever enough for Glass Kun, aka Kunakita. But this episode for me was like another chill, mellow episode for me. So I ain't got nothing too crazy about.
Yeah, this was a good one. Had a super snitch hacker at the beginning. I did like the like setting for like the first half with the abandoned hospital and the people getting kidnapped and put into little trappers. Like, this jigsaw ass plot line. What is this? I did kind of think like towards the end, I was like, really, the cab driver? Because at first, like, oh well, he dropped off all the people who disappeared. So it's like early on, you like. It couldn't be that obvious.
Right,
couldn't be that obvious.
Yeah, that's how.
The fight, Kunakita versus Akutagawa in this episode was animated absolutely beautifully.
Yes.
Yeah, good episode.
Pretty much the same. I like this episode. It was cool. I literally had just wrote like, bro, this freaky ass taxi driver. Because at first, like you said, as soon as they said that, just how the other episodes were established, I'm like, bro, anytime the show is like, here goes some information, I'm like, it becomes immediately relevant. Yeah. So the fact that it was like, yeah, he dropped them all off, I'm like, yeah, this nigga definitely did something to these people. And then, you feel me, just as they got to talking more, I guess, about like, they was taking their organs, or I guess, like, body parts and selling them on the black market. I thought that was strange, because I was like, you know what I mean? I guess I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, well, like, how, like, corrupt is this city? Like, what really is going on in this motherfucker? If, you know what I mean? If they could find a random taxi driver that would know, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're not killing people, just knowing, like, I'm about to go drop this person off and they about to nigga lose their kidneys and die. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that shit. It just kind of threw me off, but I mean, the episode was cool. He ended up, I guess, not even being like, I thought he was gonna be like a serial killer or something, or like some major like problem, but nah, I guess he was just like a Ponzi for somebody else, which is fried.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which is also funny to me because the agency was using him to be their informative, which in turn my man was like already switched the other side, just like I'm just delivering.
Agent.
Right, I'm just
snitches all over this episode. We got the hacker, we got the cab driver.
Yeah, that was kind of fried to me. I did like the hacker when we first introduced to him. Mm-hmm. Just that dialogue between him and Kunakita and Dazai, I thought that was funny to me. I do wish that we seen more of Were Tiger form, action so far in the show. Given the fact that his ability only activates, he only becomes a tiger at the full moon, but we see him transform partially. In a couple episodes, all right, so we're going to see more of him in action, but we really see everybody else as collective unit in action more so than him, which was weird to me because he's an MC, so you would think you would see more of it. Especially the fight against the antagonist. I definitely thought I'd see more of that.
Yeah, I liked, the fight was still cool to me. I liked Kunakita's power, just, I guess, like, whatever he had written in his notebook, he could, like, pull the page out, and it would, like, manifest.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's a cool power.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about, like, the power system in the show? I mean, everybody got
like you kind of hinted on, it's weird that they don't really, like, explain the origins of everybody getting the powers, but for the most part, it was decent.
Right.
He should just run that bitch tactical nuke.
Tactical nuke.
No, I think, kind of like what y'all just said. I think I don't really know. I don't know, bro. Like, since they didn't explain like you said, they didn't explain the origin of the power. There's no like, it doesn't seem to be obviously like any like main central like type of powers, and then just like deviates from this. So it's, you know what I mean. It's kind of no way to really like scale the power as well, which is another thing that was throwing me off. Like earlier when they had showed like the Black Lizard group and their different powers, and then next time we see these niggas, they getting judo flipped out the window. I'm like, bro, what you know what I mean? I'm like how, you know what I mean? Like, how are these powers like counteracting, or like what's going on? Like, what's the drawbacks? Is it stamina based? Like, you know what I mean? I definitely had a lot of questions about the powers, but I don't know. It just seemed kind of like convenient because, like, as we see literally in the next episode, and that's really what solidified it. It's like niggas' powers be just anything. You know what I mean? Since they didn't explain it, and there's no, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem to be like, up until this point, it doesn't seem to be like, you know what I mean? Anything like darker than black, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's significant to people's past, or, you know what I mean? Like, traumatic experiences they had, or, you know what I mean? It's not like a Hunter x Hunter or a Naruto where shit's kind of like centralized, and you can kind of know and tell what it is. Like, it just seems like, nigga, somebody got an idea for a power, and they're like, nigga, fuck it, this would be cool. We'll get this nigga this power. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool, I guess, but I don't know. I kind of didn't like that because it just kind of, I don't know. It felt like, obviously, there was a lot of possibilities with it, but it felt like kind of lazy because I'm like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, at that point, then any character that the audience or we feel is strong, y'all could write like, well, he faced this dude and this power did this, so now he, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would be a lot of situations where you could see people interacting or fighting and be like, yeah, this shit kind of don't make sense now. So, I don't know. It was kind of, I wasn't really messing with it for real. Yeah. But some of the powers were cool. Like, I thought, like, visually and stuff, like, visually. Like, it was used cool, but, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They weren't really explained very well, but the writers in them, they were creative with, like, the powers they came up with, and that was the interesting part.
Yeah. All right, episode 7. Following the Azure Messenger's bomb threat, the Armed Detective Agency must race to prevent the deaths of hundreds, which would taint the agency forever. However, Dazai seemingly is distracted by their recent rescue hostage, Sasaki Nobuko. What you guys got for episode 7? What you like, dislike about it?
Yeah, they was trying to get on their ass. They was like, yeah,
Whoa.
you gotta go defuse this bomb or you gonna make the Avengers look bad.
Mm-hmm.
What I have for this one? I said it was a good Kunakita episode. It kind of gets into like some characterization for him. Basically, a very similar event had happened before in the past, and he was like very involved in them not being able to stop the explosion.
Yeah.
With like another like bomb terrorist attack, and he was definitely feeling a sort of way about that. And this was definitely a good episode where he got a chance to like atone for, you know, that fuck up.
Oh yeah, against the Uzur King.
Yeah.
Episode 7, it was cool. I literally had just wrote down like Inspector Gadget Notebook. I thought that was a cool, like an interesting power. Because it's not like too overpowered, you know what I mean? Like, but it's still interesting. And as we see, like, if you give it to a smart character, it's a lot that can be done with it. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I will say I did not see the twist coming at the end as far as,
her,
you know what I mean, with her being like, I guess behind everything, you know what I mean, as far as like the messenger and stuff like that. But I don't know, like, I will say, like, her character was, like, weird to me, just, you know what I mean? Because I guess I won't say weird, but it was just, like, I don't know. I guess I noticed it, like, it stood out to me, but I wasn't suspicious of her or anything, so it definitely was, like, a twist I did not see coming, type shit.
Yeah, because I wrote down Sasaki could either be a friend or enemy at this point because we don't really know much about her other than Dazai spending his quality time with her for the most part. But yeah, I had no idea what to make of her. Even the hacker, I mean, we only seen him once or twice or heard him a couple of times up to this point, and whether he was actually the insider or not with the bomb threats. I wrote down again, could this show be any more predictable? I mean, it's cool at best. I like the characters. Quality.
I that way too.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of the show isn't horrible by any means, but there's something. I feel like there's something missing in the show, or something that could have been done differently. Because it's not like I hate it or anything. It's certain things and aspects in the show that I would rather them added to it and be more informative about some of the stuff that we've talked about so far, the powers and some of the characters they are introducing to us so far. The plot be a little bit more clear, or if it is more of a suspense thriller that they're trying to go for, I mean, at least give us some type of breadcrumbs to it. But yeah, episode 7 I mean, it was alright. It wasn't horrible or anything like that. To add on what T was talking about towards the end, the scene where she walks up with the gun, she shot the hacker, and then Dazai had the gun pointed at her, and he dropped it, and Buddy Hacker shot her and killed her, and he died. I was like, so I'll be fitting because she killed my father. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like,
I swear.
That's how it's going. All right.
Out of nowhere with that shit.
Yeah, you know, that for me, I was okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
If it's for the hacker and his being of leaving this world, knowing that the one who killed his father is dead, okay, fine. I'm fine with that.
But Satoshi, this episode was just literally like that meme where the guy's like, what you doing? It was like, I'm just hanging around. Like, he does nothing this episode. I literally had in my notes, I was like, he's really useless. He does nothing this entire episode.
Yeah.
It's bad. Yeah. But yeah, I felt like that hacker fake out was so bad, bruh. It's like, they're waiting for the person, and then the guy walks through the shadow, and it's the hacker. Oh, no, I'm just here to see who it really is. And then the bitch walks through. I'm like, oh, my God. Why is he here, bro? You supposed to be in your mom's basement on, like, 50 fucking monitors, bro. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no kidding.
If that nigga wasn't there, he would have been still alive.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding, man. It was like, okay, I guess. And then seeing Kunakita, I mean, he lashes out, and Dazai was like, you know, why lead up to this point, man? You know, we could save her. And it's like, dude, this is not how it's supposed to end, man. Like, I understand why you wanted it to go a different way, but this is not how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, their little teamwork fight was cool too, where like switch opponents.
Yeah.
The guy with like the little numbers powers.
Yeah.
It's like I can control anybody from like infinite distance,
even across the world. I can make them do whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
You can like fling them back and forth like a rag doll. I guess however many times he does it, the number goes down, and then when it gets to 0, they just die.
I thought that was kind of.
So I think that's kind of like an OP power to have.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of lame. I'm like, cause
Yeah.
it'd have been. I felt like it would have been cool if he was like, hey, you know what I mean, like. I can control you. I can throw you around and I gotta kill you with this many, you know what I mean, throws as the number on your hand. As opposed to that, but it was I definitely like how they like switched opponents, and you feel me. You see kind of why they like how well they work together, why they're kind of like always partnered up for the most part.
I will say about that scene where Desai's getting his ass whooped, and you see Buddy with the Kid got the numbers on him. And to me, I kind of hated that scene so much. I get it with the teamwork, but it just felt. I don't know, it felt cheesy to me, bro. That they just it just happened like that. I don't know. Again, it felt like something to me was missing in that aspect, even though it is showing that they do have teamwork despite their relationship and all that. I mean, that we see they always bicker and everything. Desire teases him. Kunakita always high moral. You know, want things be done a certain kind of way. We see a teamwork. Even the MC was like, wow, even despite how they are, they make a great team. It's like, yeah. So, but I mean, that fight was okay to me at best.
Yeah. It was just like a cool moment. The fight itself was like,
right.
Because even the big guy just like punches him a couple times, and as soon as they switch, like the fight's basically over.
It was straight overflip.
It was a short fight, but it was a cool little moment for them, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Badass doctor.
Getting back into it, Atsushi accompanies Yosano on the shopping expedition, where we are suddenly plunged into a middle of a terror bomb threat by one of the port mafias. Meanwhile, Dazai is missing. For me, I say, how did my boy Dazai end up getting locked up when his ability nullifies any other ability? Because we see at the beginning he runs into the girl who activates her ability, and then next thing you know, we just hear him say, "Oh, I'm screwed." But it's like, all right, so how are you screwed? I mean, I know you could probably take her, so what is it?
All according to plan.
All according to plan, or my man is deceiving the agency and had to talk with the port mafia? Who knows? Yeah, that was something I kind of wrote down that I was questioning about. The scene that we see on the train was interesting. Seeing Yakano fight. She's not immortal, but she's just got the self-healing ability. And the way how they explain it is very interesting to me. How she can actually heal or heal others. It's like a little qualification goes. It's like, if you have a crazy, fatal wound, I can heal you, but anything minimum, like a little scratch or something like that, I can't do it unless I inflict that fatal wound on you, and then I can heal you, which I thought was kind of fried. Then we see our main character, Atsushi. We see him fighting this episode, which is kind of cool to me, but he's getting waxed by old girl. Episode's pretty cool to me. I like the action, and action's pretty good. The bombing, people dying, whatever. I mean, it's pretty cool to me, this episode.
Yeah, I will say that, I like episode 8. This was definitely an example of what I was just talking about with these crazy ass powers. Yeah. With these like lemon candy bombs.
Right.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Because they like, you know what I mean? They like when they dropped on the subway floor, it like sounded like metal. So I'm like, it clanged. That's why I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
But I thought like the action scene and shit. I thought it was cool. Mm-hmm. What's the doctor's name?
Yakano.
Makano?
Oh, Yosano, I mean.
Nasano?
Yeah,
Yosano.
Yeah.
I can hear that. Now, I definitely liked her character design and stuff, and I think her power was cool. Like, I feel like that is kind of I guess like a different spin on a power like that. And I was kind of curious after like, what was it, like episode 3 when they had said that the one dude was like healing, but they had like showed the little clip and he was like, I guess hella like scared and nervous, and then like that episode when she had came in, baby, she like, anybody heard?
Right,
like
nah,
we good.
Yeah.
So I definitely was curious. You feel me? I thought I ain't gonna lie, just with how the show had been going, like with the stepbrother and stepsis and all that, I thought she was like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I thought she was like hurting people basically, but I thought it was just more on like some kinky stuff or like some weird, you know what I mean? Like I thought she was like burning candle wax on people or something. You know what I mean? Like just something.
Well, that's
weird.
how they projected it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just laying there. He's like tweaking. I'm like, bro, what is
like when I seen that, I'm like, yo, she BDSM to heal? Like, how did that part work? But,
right.
Yeah. No, it was cool.
Yeah, kind of gave me like Spider-Man vibes with like the fight on the subway.
Yeah.
The timing was hilarious because like as soon as she get done telling Asa, she like, oh, you gotta watch your back. Port Mafia out there, man. Buddy hop on the intercom. Hey, man, we're taking over the train. About to blow everybody up.
Yeah, we looking for this guys.
The scene where Asa, she like bumps into the dude and makes him drop his shit. And then she tries to apologize, and he's like, fuck out of here. I'm complaining to your companies. She's like, yeah, man, you got 2 arms, man. That's one too many. Mind if I break one? That scene was hilarious.
Yeah, that was goofy. I do like her character design, though.
Yeah. I just like her character just in general. She seemed like a, badass character, wouldn't take shit from nobody. Right. Everybody's scared of her, so that, like, plays into it even more. Mm-hmm. Just a good... This is like... Because the show has so many, like, eccentric characters in the agency, and this was, like, probably the first one that I thought was, like, actually funny. Like, I actually liked her dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
But no, and then I had, I thought this was, like, a power activation themed episode, because they talk about how the girl, her powers are, like, activated through, like, the phone or whatever, and then we see Yasano's powers, the thou shalt not kill, where you basically have to, like, kill somebody or inflict, like, fatal, lethal damage for her to be able to heal them. Mm-hmm. But no, it was a decent episode, good fights.
Yeah.
And we got to spend time with a character that wasn't annoying.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I do agree with you on that. Character that's not annoying. Yeah, I like, even we got a little bit of Kyoka, the little girl. We seen her power, and we see the fight between, her and Atsushi. I was wondering, was she even a real person or a doll? Because hearing her talk a couple of times, I'm like, all right, so she may not even be a real person. But even though Atsushi, his moral compass was like, regardless of who she is, she's obviously in danger, I need help or whatever. But you're hearing this voice on the other side, and it's like, all right, clearly she's either under hypnosis or she's just taking orders just blindly. And then we see her at the end kind of get this humanity back after this whole talk from Atsushi and him not backing down, and she's pretty much about to sacrifice herself and throw herself off, and then Atsushi comes to her rescue, and I thought that was kind of cool, cool little scene. That was probably one of the few scenes I've seen prior to the show that I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. All right, so who is she? What is her importance of the show? I thought I'd probably seen her in the beginning, but seeing her this late in the show is okay. All right. But yeah, again, I mean, with it having 5 seasons and the cast is growing, from what it seems like, I definitely was thinking about it at this point. Like, well, I'll be watching season 2 just because this would probably be like a layout for a future like bigger plot. But this is probably just a build up, just because this is like season 1. They're all about Rare Tiger, and we're trying to obtain him at all costs. So how this leading up to the grand finale or like the leading seasons and how this is going. That was my whole thinking process up to this point. So.
Yeah, I had the dude that Dr. Yasano was fighting looked like a skate character. Like his design was just like so out of place and weird. Yeah. Like he had the long ass orange, yellow scarf or whatever, and then he had like the goggles on. Yeah. I was like, bro,
it was definitely
like a skate character.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh, really? It was definitely misleading. When I saw it, I saw it was a female like side character as well, but then you see him just like, oh, it's an old dude.
Yeah, he didn't look like a bad guy at all.
Nah.
And to your point, I didn't even think like the little girl at first would be an enemy because, you know, usually that's not like a enemy type character. But then you see like even in this same episode, she goes from enemy to like, oh, I'm a saver, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
of course.
right, because she kept on repeating. What was she got? Killed 35 people.
Yeah, I
And
killed
all
like
that.
36 people.
36
whatever.
people, yeah, whatever. I'm like, oh, damn, okay.
Bro, I definitely wrote down there. She got bodies.
Yeah,
She
right.
was claiming her stripes. And the first thing I heard to start the episode, I have killed 35 people. I said, damn, who is that?
Who was that?
They need to lock her up right now.
Right. All right. So episode 9 we're getting into now. Kyoko, getting a little backstory of her. She was made into assassin by those who abused her ability. She was taken in by the port mafia. She was also an orphanage as well. Tsuchi can't help but feel sympathy for her and unable to turn her into a military police in this episode, despite of her mass killing that Kunakita mentioned. What you got to have for this episode 9?
I thought I literally just put down she ate that nigga money up. And other than that, it was kind of cool. I guess it was par for the.
All right, man. Closing thoughts, conclusion on season 1 of Bungo. What y'all think?
Honestly, I thought the show was all right. Nothing spectacular. I will say that I feel like it has a lot of potential. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe some of the later seasons are formatted a bit better. They might flow a bit better. I definitely seen like we talked about. There are like certain elements in like the later episodes of the season that would lead me to believe that, you know what I mean, like certain characters are gonna have more development and might either switch sides or, you know what I mean, something might come of that. So it's definitely something that I probably would like just keep my eyes and ears out for, you know what I mean? Like if once the show ends or whatever the case may be, if I was like start hearing good reviews, I might check out some of the later seasons. But right now, I feel like the animation was cool for the fights. The score, the soundtrack didn't really stand out to me, but you know what I mean, it usually doesn't on a lot of shows, so I wouldn't necessarily count that against it. Trying to think. Other than that, plot wise, like I said, it seemed like it has potential to be, you know what I mean, like better in like later seasons. Maybe I will have to wait and see. As far as a grade, I would probably give it like a solid 7. It's cool. I watched it on dub, so it definitely was a show that I just had like, you know what I mean, just kind of like playing in the background as I, you know what I mean, like was cooking something or, you know what I mean, like scrolling on my phone. So it's like I said, it's a cool show. There are definitely episodes that I enjoyed. Definitely had some good fights. But there are a lot of things that I don't feel like the show executed too well, just as far as like the formatting on some episodes, like we talked about with the last episode, and just with the powers, like they seem kind of wacky to me. There's not a lot of explanation about them, so that's one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But other than that, man, it's all right.
Yeah, I kind of felt like Mal kind of basically hit it right on the head with this one, man. About a 7.5, 7.8, like in that general area. I really felt like Studio Bones carried with this show. The art animation throughout this whole first season was really good. But everything besides that was kind of mid, kind of generic. Wasn't really feeling any of the characters too strongly. The story, there's no real like motivation for the main character. So I'm like, you know, if he don't really care, you know, what reason does that give the audience to really care? The ending song is really good. Other than that, none of the music stood out to me. But yeah, I had to go with like a 7.5. I think Mal, was really really accurate with their score on this one.
Yeah, as for me, characters was okay. None of them that really stood out to me. The MC was okay. I mean, he was more of like a forgettable character. I could probably pick someone else in the show that was probably been MC. Even Atagawa could have been a MC character that I think would probably be even more better. But for me, character was eh. The music and the score, like T said, it was okay. I mean, there were some scores, the soundtracks that I heard that reminded me of like old action films that was more like crime based, but that was only when I was paying really close attention to it. The plot, I was not a fan of the plot. I had no idea where it was going. Every episode seems like there was a different story for a different plot, but obviously the main plot was to capture the were-tiger, but every now and then I would get lost in it because, like, what's the whole point of this whole show right now? Now, granted, like T said, it's a building block for the seasons to come, so I kind of had to, like, keep an open mind about it and to see where it was going from there. The animation of it was cool. I mean, by knowing it was from Bones, Bones did, from what I've seen, My Hero, it's done Soul Eater, it's done Fullmetal Alchemist, it's done a couple other big name anime series that I enjoy. So there was no knock on it at all, given that it's a more recent, up-to-date animation style that I liked. Power scaling of the show could have been more explained. The power seemed cool, but like T said, a bit more detail for the audience would have been nice as anything. I'd say my rating for the show is just a 7 for the show. I think it's reasonable for the style that this show was going, the direction. As far as looking forward to any upcoming seasons to watch on my free time, maybe. I mean, if my curiosity peaks at best, I may watch a few episodes of season 2, see if I want to keep going onward with this. But as of right now, from how this first season goes, it's okay to me. Like George says, it's mid, and I feel like when I say mid, or anybody say mid show, is saying like, oh, it's a bad show. I don't think it's bad. I just think like there's just certain elements to the show that was missing, or some of the marks that they was trying to aim for just didn't hit with me. You know
Yeah.
So that's what I take from that.
I didn't really feel like it had like too much that was like setting it apart.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything we've seen here is stuff we've seen like done before in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
As far as like for me watching, continuing the show or watching later seasons, like I would watch like this universe, but like for me to watch a later season, it probably had to be like a whole new set of characters,
Right.
a whole new like motivation or storyline or objective. Yeah. But I watch a story that takes place in this universe, but just I wasn't really too drawn to these characters or what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah. And another thing to hit on, I know one of you guys mentioned that's like a setup for, I think it was like episode 11 or 10 where Atagawa's in comatosis and, his right-hand man, lady is right there and it's pretty much there. And it's kind of like a build for him being a good guy. I will say what also caught my eye prior to watching the show, there was a scene where we did see the MC and him tag team, a antagonist, I think. So you are right about that. It's a build up for him maybe being a good character. I don't know. So that may be something interesting to just note for these guys. Like, hey, if you do watch free time, if you did like Atagawa, he is like maybe switching sides, or he may have a team up with the MC or the good guys or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, and then also Jordan did mention something that it kind of resonated. He said generic. I did kind of feel like this was like a generic writing. If this was just a first season only, it could have been done differently. I mean, be more informative or just extend the episodes instead of breaking up the seasons. give more details of characters and the power scale in the show and the world building, it'll be a lot more grateful, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, a nice generic 12-episode anime. I mean, nothing strong suit about it, but it was just future opportunities for the other seasons.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I got for it.
You got any last? All right.
No.
What we watching next week, man?
All right, man. Next week, man, we will be watching Eden of the East.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if y'all heard about that. I've heard it's good. I've seen like just on like it was like a top 10 anime list. It wasn't like a Mojo list, but it was like another like smaller creator who had made one.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple other shows on his list, like Monogatari and some other stuff that I had seen that I thought was good. So when I had seen this, it just, you know what I mean, like him kind of giving just like an overall show synopsis of it, it caught my attention, and it was one of the shows I was going to suggest like on one of my earlier turns, but it's all good, man. We here now. Definitely can't wait. I'm definitely excited to experience it and, feel me, see what it's got to offer, man.
This will be my second watch through for Eden of the East. I always like battle royale type anime, death game type anime, so it's gonna be fun to watch this again.
I have no idea what Eden East is. I heard it maybe once or twice, but I've never seen anything visual or clips of it. I mean, every time I hear the name, it sounds like more of a drama rom kind of anime. If I just go off the name of it,
Right.
But if I see the pictures of it, it'd be very flip side of that.
No, it's not that.
Definitely not that.
Oh, okay.
But it's crazy you say that because it does have like a just interesting name.
Yeah, you know, like if someone said, you know, Your Lie in April, I would not think it'll be about musical or drama or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? But this would be something worth watching. Nice little battle royale game. So is this something like, you said battle royale, is something like Diary, Future Diary battle royale? Okay.
Yeah, kinda, in a way.
All right, gotcha.
Yep. So it's definitely should be good, man. Definitely should be good. Cool.
All right, then, y'all, man. Thank y'all for sticking with us, man. Subscribe, like, share the video, man. Leave us down in the comments, man. Let us know what you guys thought of Bungo Stray Dogs Season 1, man. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Social media link will be in the description, man. Follow us on the socials for updates. Without any further ado, man. Otaku Perspective out.
Well, you rose in my city, I know